The land was quiet under the late afternoon sun. Dry grass moved slowly in the warm wind, and the old ranch rested in silence. Near the edge of the field stood a deep stone well. It had been there longer than anyone could remember. Most animals stayed away from it. Most people did too. A small donkey cub stood beside the well. The cub was young and thin, with soft gray fur and long ears that drooped forward. It did not play or wander like other young animals. Instead, it stood close to the well and leaned its head forward again and again. Each time, it stared into the darkness below. Its body stayed still, but its eyes were full of worry. The cub had been there for hours. Not far away, a cowboy named Tom guided his horse back toward the barn. Tom was a quiet man who lived alone on the ranch. He knew the land well. He noticed small changes that others missed. That was why the sight of the donkey cub made him stop. Tom pulled gently on the reins and slowed his horse. He had seen that cub before. It belonged to a donkey that lived near the fence line. The mother donkey was strong and careful. She never left her young alone for long. But now, the cub stood alone by the well. Tom climbed down from his horse and tied it to a wooden post. He walked slowly toward the cub. His boots made soft sounds against the dirt. The cub did not run. It only lifted its head slightly, then looked back into the well. That made Tom uneasy. He stopped a few steps away and studied the cub. Its legs were marked with small scratches. There was dried mud on its side. One ear had a small tear near the edge. This was not a cub that had spent the day playing. This was a cub that had faced trouble. Tom bent down and spoke softly. "Easy now," he said. The cub turned its head and looked at him. Its eyes were dark and shiny. There was no fear in them, only waiting. Tom felt a strange pull in his chest. He had seen that look before, long ago, when he was a child. It was the look of someone hoping without knowing how to ask. Tom stepped closer to the well and peered over the edge. The stone rim was worn smooth from time and weather. He placed one hand on it and leaned forward carefully. At first, he saw nothing. The well was deep, and the light barely reached the bottom. Darkness filled the space below, thick and heavy. Tom straightened up and shook his head. Maybe the cub was just curious. Young animals often were. Then he heard it. A low sound drifted upward. It was weak and rough, almost lost in the air. Tom froze. He held his breath and listened again. The sound came once more. It was a cry. Not loud, not clear, but it carried pain. Tom's heart began to beat fast. He grabbed the rope that hung beside the well. It was old but strong, used long ago to pull water. He leaned forward again and called out. "Hello," Tom said. The sound below answered him. This time, Tom knew for sure. Someone was down there. Tom looked at the donkey cub. The cub lifted its head and let out a soft sound of its own. It stepped closer to Tom, then turned and faced the well again. It had not been looking into the well for no reason. It had been watching. Tom felt his eyes grow warm. Memories rushed back without warning. Years ago, when Tom was young, he had fallen into this same well during a storm. The walls were slick. The water was cold. He had called for help until his voice was gone. No one came. Except one. An old man passing through the land had heard him by chance. That man had stayed. He had tied a rope. He had pulled Tom out with shaking arms. That man had saved his life. Tom wiped his face with the back of his hand. He had not thought about that day in many years. Now the well held another life. Tom tested the rope, pulling it hard. It held firm. He looked around, thinking fast. He needed help, but the nearest neighbor was far away. There was no time to lose. The donkey cub stepped closer and pressed its nose against Tom's leg. "It's all right," Tom said softly. He did not know who was in the well. He did not know how long they had been there. But he knew he could not leave. Tom tied the rope around a strong wooden post near the well. He checked the knot twice. His hands were steady now. Fear was there, but something stronger pushed it aside. Duty. Hope. He leaned over the well again and called down. "Hold on," he said. "I'm here." The sound from below answered, faint but alive. The donkey cub stood beside Tom, ears forward, eyes fixed on the dark opening. It did not move away. It did not make a sound. It waited. Tom took a deep breath and prepared himself. Whatever was at the bottom of that well had changed this quiet day forever. And as the sun dipped lower in the sky, Tom knew that what he was about to find would stay with him for the rest of his life. Tom stood beside the well with the rope wrapped around his hands. The air felt heavier now, as if the land itself was holding its breath. The donkey cub remained close, its body pressed near Tom's leg. The cub's ears stayed pointed toward the dark opening of the well, listening. Tom lowered the rope slowly into the well. The sound of it sliding against stone echoed softly. He leaned forward and called down again. "Can you hear me?" Tom said. A weak voice answered. It was small and shaky, but it was clear enough to understand. "Yes," the voice said. Tom closed his eyes for a moment. Relief washed over him. Whoever was down there was alive. "My name is Tom," he said. "I'm going to help you. Can you tell me your name?" There was a pause before the voice answered. "My name is Anna," the voice said. "I fell. I tried to climb, but I'm too tired." Tom tightened his grip on the rope. Anna sounded young, but not a child. Her voice carried pain and fear. Tom looked around the well again, checking the stone edges and the space below. The light was fading fast. "Anna," Tom said calmly, "I'm lowering a rope. Can you grab it?" "Yes," Anna said. "I will try." Tom felt the rope shift slightly. He leaned closer, careful not to lose balance. The donkey cub let out a small sound, as if urging him to hurry. Tom waited. The rope moved again. "I have it," Anna said. Tom tied the rope tighter around the post and pulled gently to test it. "Hold on tight," Tom said. "I will pull slowly." Tom pulled with steady strength. The rope grew heavy in his hands. His muscles tightened as he leaned back, using his weight. The stone rim scraped the rope as it rose. The donkey cub stepped back and watched closely. Slowly, a shape began to rise from the darkness. First came a hand, pale and shaking. Then an arm, scraped and dirty. Tom pulled harder, breathing deep, refusing to stop. Finally, Anna's head appeared above the edge of the well. Her hair was dark and tangled. Her face was streaked with dirt and tears. Her eyes were wide with fear and shock. Tom reached forward and grabbed her arm. "I've got you," he said. With one final pull, Anna was out of the well. She collapsed onto the ground, breathing hard. Tom knelt beside her and untied the rope quickly. The donkey cub stepped closer and sniffed Anna's hand. Anna looked at the cub and smiled weakly. "You stayed," she whispered. Tom helped Anna sit up and wrapped his jacket around her shoulders. She was shaking from cold and fear. "You're safe now," Tom said. Anna nodded, but tears rolled down her face. She pressed her hands into the dirt, grounding herself. Tom gave her a moment. He knew how it felt to come back from that darkness. After a while, Anna spoke again. "I was looking for my donkey," she said softly. "She wandered near the fence this morning. I heard a sound near the well and leaned too far. The ground gave way." Tom's chest tightened. He looked at the donkey cub. "That must be her cub," Tom said. Anna nodded. "She tried to pull me," Anna said. "She brayed and brayed. When she could not help, she stayed. She kept looking down. She would not leave." Tom felt tears burn his eyes again. He turned his face away for a moment. The cub had done what it could. It had waited. It had hoped. "That cub saved your life," Tom said quietly. Anna reached out and touched the cub's ear. The cub leaned into her hand. "I think so too," Anna said. Tom helped Anna stand. She was weak, but she could walk with support. They moved away from the well toward the barn, slow and careful. The cub followed close behind, never more than a step away. Inside the barn, Tom settled Anna onto a chair and brought her water. She drank slowly. Color began to return to her face. As she rested, Tom sat across from her. "You could have died down there," he said. "I know," Anna replied. "I was scared. I kept calling, but no one came. Except her." She looked toward the cub, who lay on the floor watching her. "I talked to her," Anna continued. "I told her not to leave. I told her to wait for help." Tom nodded. That made sense. The sun sank lower outside, casting long shadows through the barn door. Silence filled the space, but it was a calm silence now. After some time, Anna looked at Tom. "Why were you here today?" she asked. Tom thought for a moment. "I almost never come near that well anymore," he said. "But something made me look." Anna smiled softly. "Maybe waiting works," she said. Tom felt a lump rise in his throat. He looked at the cub again and remembered his own past. Someone had once waited for him too. As night settled over the ranch, Tom knew this was not the end of the story. Something had been healed today, not just a fall into a well, but something deeper. And it all started because a small donkey cub refused to walk away. The night grew quiet around the ranch. The wind slowed, and the stars appeared one by one in the dark sky. Inside the barn, a soft lantern light filled the space with warmth. Anna sat wrapped in Tom's jacket, her hands resting around a cup of water. The donkey cub lay nearby, calm now, its breathing slow and steady. Tom stood near the open barn door, watching the land outside. He felt different. Something inside him had shifted. Saving Anna had brought back memories he had buried for years. Anna noticed his silence. "You fell into the well once too," she said gently. Tom turned, surprised. "How did you know?" he asked. "You looked at it like someone who remembers," Anna said. Tom nodded and walked closer, sitting on a wooden crate. "I was younger," he said. "A storm came fast. I slipped. I thought no one would find me. I thought I would stay there forever." Anna listened closely. "But someone came," Tom continued. "A man I never knew. He heard me by chance. He stayed and helped me climb out. He never asked for anything." Anna smiled softly. "That is what you did for me," she said. Tom shook his head. "No," he replied. "That cub did more than I did." The donkey cub lifted its head as if it understood. Anna reached out and scratched behind its ear. The cub leaned closer. "She stayed," Anna said, "even when she was scared." They sat quietly for a while. The sounds of the night drifted in. Crickets chirped softly. Somewhere far away, an owl called. After resting, Anna stood slowly. She was steadier now. "I should find my donkey," she said. "She must be worried." Tom nodded. "She is near the fence," he said. "I will take you there." They stepped outside together. The air was cool and clear. The moon lit the path as they walked slowly across the field. The donkey cub trotted ahead, eager now, ears high. Near the fence, a larger donkey stood waiting. When she saw the cub, she let out a loud sound and moved forward quickly. The cub ran to her side. Anna smiled and reached out. The donkey sniffed her and pressed close, as if checking that she was real. "I am all right," Anna whispered. Tom watched the moment with a full heart. The bond between them was strong and honest. "Thank you," Anna said to Tom. "I do not know how to repay you." Tom thought for a moment. "Stay," he said. "At least for tonight. You are not ready to walk far." Anna agreed. They guided the donkeys into a safe pen near the barn. The animals settled quickly, the cub curling beside its mother. Later, as the fire crackled softly inside the house, Anna sat at the table while Tom prepared simple food. The warmth filled the room. "Where do you live?" Tom asked. "In a small place beyond the hills," Anna said. "I help care for animals. They are my family." Tom smiled. "I understand that," he said. As they ate, Anna grew quiet. "There was a moment in the well," she said, "when I thought no one would come. I felt very small." Tom looked at her kindly. "But you did not give up," he said. "No," Anna replied. "Because she did not." She looked toward the barn where the cub slept. "That cub believed," Anna said, "even without knowing how help would come." Tom leaned back in his chair. Her words stayed with him. He had spent years keeping distance from others, thinking it was safer that way. But today had shown him something else. In the days that followed, Anna stayed on the ranch to recover. She helped with small tasks. She laughed more each day. The donkey cub followed her everywhere. Tom found himself smiling more. He felt less alone. One morning, Tom walked to the well and stood beside it. He looked down, not with fear this time, but with respect. That well had taken fear and given back meaning. When he turned, the cub stood nearby watching him. "You taught me something," Tom said quietly. The cub flicked its ears. Anna came up behind him. "I will be leaving soon," she said. "But I will never forget this place." Tom nodded, feeling the truth of it. "Neither will I," he said. As the sun rose higher, Tom realized that what the cowboy found in the well was not just a person in danger. It was a reminder of kindness, patience, and the quiet strength of staying when it matters most. And a small donkey cub had shown him that sometimes, waiting can change everything. Morning light spread across the ranch, soft and golden. The land looked peaceful, as if nothing had happened. But inside Tom, things were different. He woke early and stepped outside, breathing in the cool air. The events of the past days stayed with him. The well no longer felt like a place of fear. It felt like a place of truth. Anna came out of the barn shortly after. She moved more easily now. Her strength had returned little by little. The donkey cub followed close behind her, stopping whenever she stopped, watching her every move. Tom smiled at the sight. "You look better today," he said. "I feel stronger," Anna replied. "Thanks to rest and good care." They shared a quiet moment before starting the day. Tom worked on the fence while Anna helped feed the animals. The cub followed Anna everywhere, curious and alert. The mother donkey watched from a distance, calm and trusting. Later that morning, Tom and Anna sat under a tree near the field. The shade was cool, and the wind carried the smell of dry grass. "I have been thinking," Anna said, "about that day at the well." Tom nodded. "So have I. I realized something," she continued. "I was not alone down there. Even in the dark, I was not alone." Tom understood what she meant. "That makes a difference," he said. Anna looked at the cub again. "She stayed when fear told her to run," Anna said. "Most would leave. But she stayed." Tom leaned back against the tree trunk. "That kind of courage is quiet," he said. "It does not shout. It just refuses to leave." As the day passed, neighbors from nearby land came to visit. Word had spread about what happened. They listened closely as Tom shared the story. When he spoke about the donkey cub, many shook their heads in wonder. "That little animal knew what to do," one man said. "She did what mattered," Tom replied. Anna stayed mostly silent, smiling softly. She did not need praise. She was simply grateful. In the afternoon, Anna walked alone to the well. Tom noticed and followed at a distance. He watched as she stood at the edge and looked down. Her posture was calm. There was no fear in her face. She placed a small stone near the rim and spoke quietly. "Thank you," she said. Tom felt his chest tighten. He did not interrupt. Some moments needed space. That evening, Anna told Tom she would leave the next morning. Her home was far, and her animals needed her. Tom felt a weight in his chest. "You are welcome to stay longer," he said. Anna smiled. "I know," she replied. "But I also know when it is time to go." They sat together by the fire one last time. The donkey cub rested near Anna's feet. "You changed something in me," Tom said. Anna shook her head. "No," she said gently. "You were already ready to change." Tom thought about that as the fire burned low. That night, Tom dreamed of the well again. But this time, it was filled with light. He saw hands reaching up, strong and steady. When he woke, his heart felt lighter. Morning came quickly. Anna packed her few things. Tom helped guide the donkeys to the path that led beyond the hills. The cub hesitated, then walked up to Tom. It pressed its head gently against his leg. Tom knelt and rested his hand on its neck. "Thank you," he said quietly. Anna watched with wet eyes. "She will remember you," Anna said. "I will remember her," Tom replied. As Anna and the donkeys walked away, Tom stood still for a long time. He watched until they disappeared beyond the rise of the land. The ranch felt quieter after that. But it did not feel empty. Days passed. Tom returned to his routine. Yet something remained different. He spoke more. He watched more closely. He noticed small acts of care around him. One afternoon, Tom repaired the well. He strengthened the edge and placed a clear warning nearby. He wanted no one else to fall. As he worked, he felt peace. What the cowboy found in the well was not just a person in need. It was a reminder of what it means to stay, to care, and to answer when life calls. And it all came from a small donkey cub who chose not to walk away. Time moved forward on the ranch, steady and calm. The days followed their usual rhythm, but Tom felt the change in small moments. He woke with purpose. He worked with care. He listened more than he spoke. The land felt the same, yet his heart felt fuller. The well stood strong now. Tom had repaired it carefully. The stone edge was firm. A wooden cover rested on top when it was not in use. Tom often paused there, not with fear, but with respect. That place had shown him something he had forgotten. One afternoon, a traveler passed through the land. The traveler was tired and thirsty. Tom welcomed him, offering water and shade. As they rested, the traveler noticed the well. "That well looks old," the traveler said. "It is," Tom replied. "But it still matters." The traveler smiled, not fully understanding, but thankful all the same. As the seasons changed, Tom began helping others more often. He checked fences for neighbors. He guided lost animals home. He listened to stories without rushing. People began to stop by more often. They stayed for a while, then moved on. The ranch no longer felt quiet in a lonely way. One morning, Tom heard a familiar sound in the distance. He stepped outside and looked toward the hills. A shape moved closer. It was Anna. She walked calmly, leading the donkey and the cub beside her. The cub was bigger now, stronger and confident. Tom felt his breath catch. He stood still, unsure if he was dreaming. When Anna reached the yard, she smiled. "I told you I would come back," she said. Tom laughed softly. "I hoped you would." They sat together under the same tree where they once talked. The cub wandered nearby, exploring with curiosity. "She has grown," Tom said. "Yes," Anna replied. "She learned from staying close." They spoke of simple things. The road. The animals. The weather. But there was meaning beneath every word. "I wanted to thank you again," Anna said. "Not just for saving me, but for reminding me what patience can do." Tom nodded. "That cub taught us both," he said. As the sun moved across the sky, Anna shared news. She had helped many animals. She had told the story of the well. People listened, not because it was dramatic, but because it was true. "She changed lives," Anna said, nodding toward the cub. Tom watched the cub stand near the well, calm and alert. "She still watches," he said. Yes, Anna replied. She always will. That evening, they shared a meal. Laughter filled the space. The ranch felt alive in a way Tom had not known before. Before Anna left again, she turned to Tom. Some places stay with us, she said. Not because of what happened, but because of what we learned. Tom looked at the land around him. This place saved me twice, he said. Once as a boy. Once as a man. Anna smiled and placed her hand on the cub's back. And both times, she said, someone stayed. When Anna walked away once more, Tom felt peace instead of sadness. He knew this was not goodbye. It was simply part of the path. As the sun set, Tom stood beside the well one last time that day. He looked out over the land and felt gratitude rise in his chest. The donkey cub had looked into the well not out of fear, but out of hope. She believed help would come. She stayed when it was hard. She waited without knowing the ending. What the cowboy found there was not only a person in need. He found a lesson that changed his life. Sometimes, the smallest heart carries the strongest faith. And sometimes, staying is the bravest act of all.